Hey everybody, it's Roya. Today's painting is about something very significant, I think, but I have to walk myself through it to get to that point. I was reading a mystical text called Merkabah literature. There is this other kind of branch overlapping with this branch, which is Hekhalot mysticism. Okay, these things overlapping sort of, and there is this production of them called Shi'ur Qomah, which is mean dimensions of body. Okay, now the weird thing about it is that this literature literally measures divine body of God. There are measurements in the literature that how long the finger is, how long the arm is, how long is that, how long is this. So they literally came up with dimensions of divine body. Now, this is from approximately 1 century BCE, okay? So what we already discussed in this other painting that I can put a link to, the Ezekiel's vision of divine, of God, and then Ezekiel's surprise that he saw the vision of God outside the main temple. And then I added that we atheists make fun of such text because we say, aren't your God omnipresent all over, everywhere? Your God is limited to one temple? Which the answer would be yes. This omnipresent, omniscient stuff is pretty modern definitions of God. So people back then, the God was hyper real to them. The God was hyper real, which is put into context such literature emerging from those societies. It would perfectly make sense for people, because remember, it's just a little bit before that people worshipped idols. The omniscient quality of God, omnipresent, omniscient qualities of God, these are modern conceptualizations of the divine. These things were not a thing back then. This is a radical theological jump to monotheism. And the fact that one God can handle all of this crazy nature we're inhabiting was crazy. The fact that God could be invisible was crazy. The fact that God could be everywhere all the time was crazy. Okay, now we take it for granted, obviously, after almost 4,000 years of emergence and dominance of monotheism as we know it today. And then we used our modern conceptualization to make fun of those people over there. So it's not helpful. It's not helpful because you gotta put yourself in the mindset of people at the time to be able to get the text. Okay, now next thing is its direct relationship to art. Art, we weren't able to produce the realistic qualities, but we were aiming toward a vision of realistic quality, and it peaked during Renaissance and it was downhill from there, because we achieved that and now we have it. We can abstract ourselves away from that vision, which we get to the sad state of modern art. The fact that we can abstract away a deity to the point of your modern religious person expresses a worship practice that would be heretical for people back then. This is the state of the art. We abstracted ourselves away from the craft and from the skill that is needed and is the origin of art. That is what art is. It's demonstration of skill that by definition it requires commitment for a long time to gain, and it's not an easy thing, and it's supposed to produce awe in you. It's not supposed to be I could do this too when you walk into a modern art museum. How come nobody would utter this word in a Sistine Chapel? Because nobody else would be able to do this. That's why. And another thing would be the dimensions of depth provided by a great work of art. It's something like, if you never ever heard of Genesis, you would still be in awe of Sistine Chapel. If you heard about Genesis, it adds another dimension to your appreciation. If you know more, you would get more, because there's endless depth to a great work of art. So in terms of this monotheism business, I won't necessarily care about it since I'm an atheist, but what I would care about is our collective mindset having its evolution up to this point, and how it would represent itself in various dimensions of our existence. So let's go paint.